Okay, so we're picking up where we left off from. We are in Exodus 32. When the people saw how long it took Moses to come back down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron. Come on, they said, make us some gods who can lead us. We don't know what happened to that fellow Moses who brought us out of Egypt. So Aaron said, take the golden rings from your ears and from your wives and your sons and your daughters and bring them to me. All of the people took their gold rings from their ears and brought them to Aaron. Then Aaron took the gold and melted it down and molded it into the shape of a calf. When the people saw it, they exclaimed, "Oh, Israel, these are the gods who brought you out of the land of Egypt." Aaron saw how excited the people were, so he built an altar in front of the calf. Then he announced, "Tomorrow will be a festival to the Lord." And the people got up early in the morning to sacrifice burnt offerings and peace offerings. After this, they celebrated the feasting and drinking, and they indulged in pagan rivalry. Then the Lord told Moses, "Quick, go down the mountain. The people whom you brought from the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. How quickly they have turned away from my commands that I commanded them to live. And they have melted down gold to make a calf, and they have bowed down to sacrifice to it. They are saying, 'These are the gods, O Israel, that brought you out of the land of Egypt.'" Then the Lord said to Moses, "I have seen as stubborn and rebellious as these people are. Now leave me alone, for my fierce anger will blaze against them, and I will destroy them. Then I will make you, Moses, a great nation." But Moses tried to pacify his Lord. "Oh Lord," he said, "why are you so angry with your own people whom you brought out of the land of Egypt with such a power and such a strong hand?" It says, "Why let the Egyptians say their God rescued them from with evil intentions to slaughter them in the mountains and wipe them off the face of the earth? And then turn away from your fierce anger, and then change your mind about the terrible disasters you have threatened against your people. Remember your servant Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that you brought yourself an oath to them, saying, 'I will make your descendants as numerous as stars in the heaven, and I will give them all the land that you promised to all your descendants to possess forever.'" So the Lord changed his mind about the terrible disaster he had threatened to bring on the people. Then Moses turned and went down the mountain, and he held in his hand the two stones inscribed with the terms of the covenant, and they were inscribed on both sides, front and back. And these tablets were God's work. It says the words on them were written by God himself. Then Joshua heard the boisterous noise of the people shouting below them, and he exclaimed, "Moses, it sounds like a war in the camp." But Moses replied, "No, it is not a shout of victory, nor of wailing of defeat. I hear sounds of celebration." Then they came near the camp, and Moses saw the calves, and they were dancing, and he came burning in anger, and he threw the stone tablets on the ground, and he smashed them in the foot of the mountain, and he took the calf that he had made and burned it, and then he ground it into powder and threw it into the water and forced the people to drink it. Finally, he turned to Aaron and demanded, Why did these people make you do such a terrible thing and such a terrible sin upon them?" "Don't get so upset, my lord," Aaron replied. "You yourself know how evil these people are. They said to me, 'Make us a god who will lead us.' And it says, 'We don't know what happened to the fellow Moses who brought us out of the land of Egypt.' So I told them to bring me their gold jewelry and take it off, and then they brought it to me, and I simply threw it into the fire, and out came this calf." Moses saw that Aaron had let the people go completely out of control, much to amusement to their enemies. So he stood in the entrance of the camp, and he shouted, "All of you who are on the Lord's side, come here and join me." And the Levites gathered around him. Moses told them, "This is what the Lord your God of Israel has said. Each of you take your sword and go back and forth from one end of the camp to the other. Kill everyone you see, your brothers, your friends, your neighbors." The Levites obeyed Moses' command, and about 3,000 people died that day. Then Moses told the Levites, Today you have ordained yourselves for the service of the Lord and obeyed him, and even though it meant killing your own sons and brothers, today you have earned a blessing." The next day, Moses said to the people, "You have committed a terrible sin but I will go back to the Lord on the mountain. Perhaps we will be able to obtain forgiveness for your sins." So Moses returned to the Lord and said, "Oh, what terrible sin have these people committed? They have made gods of gold for themselves. But now, if you will forgive their sins, but if not, erase my name from the record you have written." But the Lord replied to Moses, "No, I will erase the name of everyone who has sinned against me. Now go and lead the people to the place where I have told you about. Look, my angel will lead before you, and then I will come and call the people on an account. And I will certainly hold them responsible for their sins." Then the Lord sent a great plague upon the people because they had worshipped the calf that Aaron had made. And we're going to stop there. That is Exodus 30 to 35.